The Staffords are going through some tough times. Mr. Stafford is in the hospital. He is recovering from a lung transplant to treat COPD. He will be out of work for at least 6 months. Fortunately, Mrs. Stafford has a terrific job, but they will need to make some tough decisions.
Girls, we need to sit down and have a frank discussion. I have to grab some notes, but I will be right back.
What do you think Mom wants to talk about?
I'm not sure, but I know she is very stressed out. Really early this morning when she got back from the hospital, I saw her crying and praying.
But I thought the lung transplant was successful and Dad will be okay. That's what the doctor told us.
He did say that, but he also said that the recovery period would be very long. Emily, we really need to help out more. I plan to make more trips home from college.
Okay, girls, we need to talk about money. I mean, our family has been really blessed. Your father and I both have terrific jobs. We've saved a lot, but most of that has been spent on medical treatment. Your father, he won't be able to go back to work for at least another 6 months, and we need to cut back if we're going to be able to take care of him. I need your help. I mean, okay, I want to talk about our finances. Our major expenses are the mortgage, Nicole, your tuition, and your living expenses. Emily, your horse, and all the events that you attend. Believe it or not, it costs about $1,000 a month to service our 4 cars. And I'd have to say that over 75% of our meals we eat out.
And let's face it, Mom, we don't exactly shop at thrift stores for our clothes.
That's right, we do keep up on our style and we wear name brands. I've broken up our expenses into mandatory and discretionary. Mandatory expenses we must pay, we have to. But discretionary expenses, we can eliminate some of them or we can cut them back.
What would you consider mandatory expenses?
Well, we have to pay mandatory expenses. There's very little flexibility. Like our mortgage. If we don't pay that, then we could lose our home. There's also healthcare expenses, insurance premiums, especially healthcare. Food, utilities, they're all mandatory expenses.
Mom, my tuition would certainly be discretionary. We could eliminate it or cut it back entirely. I know Orion College is one of the most expensive schools in the country. I don't mind taking a year or 2 off or going to community college.
I'm proud of you for volunteering, but I would hate to see you drop out right before your senior year. I mean, while I agree that it is discretionary, I think it's important that you go. And besides, your father would definitely be upset if you didn't finish out. But on the other hand, you could cut back on the trips that you've been taking or maybe some of your extracurriculars.
Thanks, Mom. I think I can handle that.
Mom, should I give up showing Cody or maybe try and sell him? I know how expensive boarding and showing a horse can be.
Maybe, but Emily, not for now. I mean, my plan is to sell 2 of the cars. I'll eat most of my meals, 90% of them, at home. We have to buy very few new clothes. And girls, just do whatever you can to save money. That's an exercise that we need to take. We won't be able to make our annual vacation this year.
But Mom, will that be enough?
Frankly, no. It won't be. But I can borrow the money that we need.
Won't a loan put us in a worse situation?
I hope not. I mean, my income should increase, and your father should be able to go back to work in about 6 months. I think we'll be okay. If not, we'll have to make some pretty difficult decisions. At that point, Nicole, you may need to take a leave off of school or even drop out of Orion. And Emily, I know that keeping Cody would not be an option. In the worst case, we could sell our home in order to pay for the debt, and then we could use the extra cash to support our family.
Congress treats spending in much the same way as the Staffords. The U.S. is a wealthy country, but its revenues are less than its expenses. Like the Staffords, it has used up anything it had in savings. Like the Staffords, Congress divides spending up into mandatory and discretionary accounts. Mandatory spending cannot be changed unless there's an act of Congress. It includes things like Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. Mandatory spending is approximately 64% of the total budget. Discretionary spending includes national defense, transportation, research, education, and many other needs. Now, like the Staffords, when the economy is sick, income decreases. And like Miss Stafford, Congress has trouble choosing what to cut. And like the Staffords, the government borrows money when its revenues are inadequate. But unlike the Staffords, the government believes its borrowing ability is unlimited. Finally, like Miss Stafford, Congress depends on a rising income fueled by economic growth to pay for these items. At the time of this filming, the Greek economy is in financial turmoil, brought about by a government that has spent beyond its means and borrowed extensively. To learn more about our national debt and deficit spending, please visit our website at higherrockeducation.com.